Hi again. In the previous video, you learned about the value of data. In this lesson, we'll discuss the common types of data that project managers collect and analyze regularly. We'll also discuss the tools you'll need to organize this data for your projects. Ready to get started? Okay, let's go. As we discussed earlier, data is the collection of facts that can help inform decisions. You may start to notice how the project data impacts the team's daily activities and the overall progress and success of the project. This is done by using various types of metrics. A metric is a quantifiable measurement that is used to track and assess a business objective. Metrics are based on selected goals. They vary per project and serve as a key type of project data. There are many types of project data you can use to determine progress and efficiency. You can group project metrics into productivity metrics and quality metrics. Productivity typically measures progress and output over time. Productivity metrics allow you to track the effectiveness and efficiency of your project and include metrics like milestones, tasks, projections, and duration. Let's break down each metric. As you may recall from an earlier course, a milestone is an important point within the project schedule that indicates progress and usually signifies completion of a deliverable or phase of the project. And a project task is an activity that needs to be accomplished within a set period of time. A projection is how you predict an outcome based on the information you have now. For example, you can predict that with the resources you have at the start of the project will be completed in 6 months. The duration of a project is the total time it takes to complete a project from start to finish. Duration can also be used for milestones and determining if you'll meet project deadlines. This data is broken down into hours, days, weeks, months, and sometimes years. So to recap, productivity metrics include milestones, tasks, projections, and duration. Now let's discuss quality metrics. Quality metrics relates to achieving acceptable outcomes and can include metrics such as the number of changes, issues, and cost variance, which all affect quality. Let's discuss each metric. The number of changes during the project or project scope helps to monitor risks. Changes show any inconsistencies from the initial requirements of the project. A series of compounding small changes may indicate a bigger issue and provide early warning signs of these issues. Using a change log to keep a record of these changes is a useful tool for communicating with stakeholders about why something is taking a long time or costs more than expected. A change log is a record of all of the notable changes on a project. An issue is a known and real problem that may affect the ability to complete a task. For example, an issue might be the delay of legal approval for an advertisement you were hoping to launch, or the missing number of confirmed seats to secure a venue for a business conference. Another quality metric is cost variance. It illustrates the difference between the actual cost and the budgeted cost. Simply put, cost variance compares what you plan to spend versus what you actually spent. Let's put it in an example. If you budgeted to only host 250 attendees at an upcoming business conference, but 275 people showed up, and the venue charges you for those additional guests, the actual cost will be higher than your initial budget or estimate. So to recap, quality metrics can include things like number of changes, issues, and cost variance. While these data points are commonly tracked by project managers, there are dozens more that you can leverage to inform decisions in your project. The great news is that there's a lot of sophisticated software and tools dedicated to project management and data analysis. So you'll have help keeping track of all of these different types of data in one centralized location. Project management tools like Workfront and Jira track activity and provide readable results so you can measure the overall health of your project. Data analysis tools like Tableau are useful for data visualization. Now you know a bit more about how to identify common types of data. You can also ID common project management software and tools that can help you manage and analyze data. In the next lesson, we'll cover how data helps you to make informed decisions. Meet you there.